Hey there gamers, and a happy fucking Halloween as well. I hope you all get plenty of candy this year and get your undies scared off too. So, we all know Minecraft, right? The game I made a terrible video talking about how scary it is to play by yourself. Well, part of the reason that game is so gosh darn scary is because of them there sounds that play when you're going into a cave, partner. And I figured, hey, why not make a short little Halloween special where I rank these sound effects for the fans. With that out of the way, let's get started with cave sound number 1. Not much to say about this one. It reminds me of like a spaghetti western stare down when the cowboys are glaring at each other. Apparently it's supposed to be a train whistle, which doesn't even really make sense for Minecraft for obvious reasons. Even while playing, this one doesn't really give me goosebumps. Maybe it could jump scare you if you're playing in a really dark room and the ambience is just right. Unfortunately though, this one is yawn tier. On to the next. This one has a little more meat on its bones than number 1. With the right atmosphere and a dark cave, this one could be Goosebumps territory. The harmonics of the choir really send a chill down your spine, but overall I think it's enough of an eyebrow raiser to belong in the Ayo category. On to the next. Another nice, ambient, spooky sound. It can really help set the mood for some of the other more terrifying cave sounds to play. It's a staple of horror, a deep foreboding note to let you know things just ain't right, feller. Ayo category for cave sound 3, and on to the next. Ooh, things are getting better now. Feels like the first few sounds just get spookier and spookier as you progress. I think this one is firmly in the Goosebumps territory. It's apparently supposed to be a roar, and it leaves just enough to the player's imagination to really spook them. What made the roar? Why am I hearing it? What's that sound behind me? On to the next. Okay, these cave sounds are really starting to throw hands. This shit is scary. Is it piss myself scary? I don't quite think so, but the long drawn out ringing noise just really gets under my skin. I think it's an obvious choice for the Goosebumps tier, as me and other friends have quite literally gotten goosebumps from this one while caving before. On to the next. This one is in the same vein as number 3, but it's not even as spooky as that one, at least not to me. It has more of a stinger feeling to it, but I can't rightfully place it any higher than Ayo territory. On to the next. This sound is weird to me. It's basically another horror stinger, but its short length really makes it feel like it should be jump scare levels of scary. It's another mood setter, same as 3, but it's very faint in its method of helping to set the scene. I believe it belongs in a very high yawn tier, but with a little more length to the sound could easily be in low Ayo tier. On to the next. Oof, another weak sound. So weak in fact, I think I'm gonna place it in low yawn territory. It's supposed to be the breathing of various mobs, but it just does not pack the same punch as some of the other cave sounds. It could be a decent mood setter, but nothing more than that. On to the next. I feel like this one rides the line between Goosebumps and Ayo territory. Its wavy feeling can be attributed to the fact that it's supposed to be a plane going by, which doesn't really make sense given everything that Minecraft shows us, but I think it does a really good job regardless of making the player feel very uneasy. I'll slot number 9 into high Ayo territory. On to the next. Ooh, baby, that's scary. This one leans fully into jump scare territory and can really catch you off guard if you're not careful. I think this one fully belongs in the piss myself category, if only for its sudden screech that can very quickly heighten the tension while you're in a cave looking for diamonds. On to the next. Lame, boring, distant minecart sound that can amp up the creepiness factor, but not by much at all in my opinion. This one is an easy yawn category. On to the next. Wow, 2 lame ones in a row. It sounds like you're casting a fucking spell on an old school RPG, for God's sake. After such a strong entry into the double-digit territory with the amazing sound that was number 10, 11 and 12 have been pretty weak. Next. Now that's a little more like it. The entire sound has a ghastly feeling to it, as if the ghosts of long-dead miners are whispering around you and haunting your very actions. In the right situation, I could easily see this causing someone to tense up and, in the process, get goosebumps. On to the next. This sound's length really help it here. It's such an unsettling noise that as soon as you hear it, your brain really wants it to end. Except it doesn't. It keeps playing, it gets under your skin and creeps you the hell out for the entire duration of the sound. This one is an easy goosebumps category in my opinion. On to the next. This is another sound with a massive amount of reverb to it, so the effect that the sound has on your psyche is more potent the larger the cave that you're in. It's quick, but still startling and foreboding enough to really shake you up, and I think it barely squeaks into the piss myself category because of it. On to the next. Another great mood setter. Something around you is falling, tumbling loud enough to echo all the way to where you are. That is absolutely terrifying. Enough is left to the imagination, and while not creepy enough to land itself in the piss myself category, I think it finds itself landing very nicely in the goosebumps category. Next. I think I just went through the 5 stages of grief. The sound is long and has a lot going on. It has an initial loud crash followed by a screech that slowly fades away, and that part alone scares the shit out of me. But it's the last seconds of the sound that really push it over the top for me. The sound of a bell dinging in the distance, and the ambient noise assisting the bell sound as everything fades away, leaves me wetting my pants. Easy piss myself category. On to the next. This is very obviously a minecart tumbling around down in the abandoned mine shafts. And look, abandoned mine shafts are already creepy as hell on their own, but you start adding sound effects that suggest something is riding in those minecarts down there, and loud enough and close enough for me to hear? Hell no. High goosebumps here for sure. On to the next. The last and final sound, and it's a doozy. The initial ring followed by the slow chitter of an Enderman's yell fading away. Pretty fucking spooky. Hearing this before you even meet an Enderman, I imagine, would make this sound one of the scariest in the entire game, but with all things considered, I think this sound is low piss myself tier. And yeah, that's my tier list. Happy Halloween, fuckos. Shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.